we go.
The Witching Hour, where wins become losses and losses become wins. Thank you very much, Scott Hansen. I'm going to pinch that off you just for this evening. Welcome along once again to the premiere show on a Thursday night, Halloween edition, the Third and Long podcast. Is, of course, myself, the incomparable Shane Harris. Above me is the man Freddy Krueger has nightmares of, Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson. In the top corner, the man who they named the Monster Mash after our beautiful baby Hope. And to my left, Elvira's favourite, Mr. Philip Perrins. Gentlemen, how are we doing on this fine Halloween? I will start with my boy, because it's his favourite day of the year. Mr. P, take it away.
I'm not joking. This is literally my favorite time of the year. I am doing spookily well, ladies and gents. I had actually put on my Raiders jersey because it's Raiders week, and but because I've recently got some tattoos done on my upper arms, it was rubbing against where they're trying to where it's really sore, so I've had to take it off and put my Liv Morgan t-shirt on again. But I'm really good. As we were talking about just before we came on air, I had a wonderful trip to the Wembley Arena last night, and I saw Creeper, one of my favorite bands. They are absolutely amazing. They were joint headlining with Black Veil Brides, but I upset Hendo when I told Hendo that I actually left the gig before Black Veil Brides came on, because I was only there for Creeper. Because I wanted to be home by 10:30, and you know what, Hendo? I was home by 10:30.
You old, Mr. P.
So, okay, switching gears ever so slightly. How's my beautiful baby this evening?
I'm good. Happy Halloween to everyone watching out there and listening. Yeah, it's been a good week. Looking forward to some good NFL action. Probably not tonight, but in the week.
I mean, we're going to have one team that's going to play some good action.
Yeah. I'm actually going out to watch it this weekend, so that should be good fun.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Well, not tonight, but I'm going out on Sunday to watch it.
Oh, nice. Where you going?
Hickory's in Gloucester.
Yes, mate. Yes.
So OBH,
the wings combo there is. Oh, I love Hickory's. When you played for Worcester? Did they have Hickory's in Worcester when you played there?
No.
Oh, mate.
What did Hickory's replace?
I have no idea. You know where the university court, the sports centre is?
Yeah.
And where McDonald's is on that roundabout. So that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not like Tramps, is it?
Yeah, it used to be like a nightclub.
Oh, like Tramps and Velvet?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't remember Kelly.
Is Angel Chef still in Worcester?
No. Don't think
Angel Chef doesn't exist anymore.
No, Angel Chef is dead, mate.
I was going to say,
I don't know. I haven't lived in Worcester since 2014. Like it's been a long time.
After that quick geography lesson, sorry to interrupt. OBH, how's it going, buddy? Everything all right with you?
All good down this end, mate. All good in the hood. I'm still reveling from the fact that we got a second win of the season on Sunday.
Ooh. Hey, hi, Roller. I'm spending work today in my subtle Halloween stuff, my Creep Show long sleeve, which I know my buddy Mr. P is a huge fan of. I took a picture the day and obviously the hat speaks for itself, really. It's probably the closest thing I've got to Halloween stuff because my mask stays on all year long, but I digress.
I have asked him to take it off, but it's just worse.
My fix was not broken, but at the end of the day.
Oh, baby, you've got all this aging stuff to come towards you, mate. I even got the grey on
Yeah, well, my hair's already thinning up here.
Yeah, but your dad's got a good amount of hair to him. I'm sure your dad's got a decent amount of hair.
I mean, he is pushing 60.
I mean, baby, don't forget that Shane wakes up every morning with his hair upside down, so that's it's not the angel.
I was going to say, I thought you changed from your Youngblood costume back to Mr. Perrins, but apparently you still have it on.
Oh wow!
Gonna get
Right,
pretty early in the
let's
morning, I want
follow each
basketball.
other. Should we get on to week 8 and the final,
Yes.
the last bit of the game where the Russell Wilson express train is reigniting very, very rapidly.
They were playing the Giants. It's not hard to beat the Giants. Limcoff Titans could beat the Giants.
Hey,
We had that last week as well when Steelers played last week as well.
Titans are legit, mate. They're going to win the Beds Bowl this season.
The what?
The Beds Bowl, because I live in Bedfordshire, and like most things when it comes to American football related, we just put bowl at the end of it. So Bed Bowl.
Sounds like a furniture shop.
Yeah.
Mate, it sounds like you need to go and see the doctors more than anything else.
Oh, we must have been all practicing our best bits today before I came online, isn't it? Like we're practicing all our best stand-up routines.
Well, I mean, you do tend to only come online about 30 seconds before the show starts.
I came on at 25 past. We had a good 5-minute chat, lads.
I was going to say,
But the thing is that's quite early for you.
It is quite early
that's
for me.
very true.
I didn't come on, and I already finished what I was eating, so it wasn't like the end of the world.
Oh,
occasion.
we're not playing what Perrins eating this week. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's crap.
I like
No,
that,
I
that
mean-
segment.
To Shane's
Chagrin, shall we say?
disgust, the Steelers are playing really well at the minute. And they've looked like they've gone up a level since Russell Wilson's gone in the centre. His last 2 starts have been really good. He's getting back to not quite prime Russell Wilson because that's gone. That's buried now. But those couple of years after the Super Bowl, their second Super Bowl, when he was still playing incredibly well, he's slinging it and he's moving and he's extending plays, not like what we saw last year in Denver and his last year in Seattle. Maybe.
Kind of funny considering Sean Payton's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. Anyway, I was just going to say, it's funny how NFL media, ourselves included, all mocked Mike Tomlin when he said that he was going to bench Fields for Russell Wilson, but that's been proven correct.
Well and truly. I mean,
Like Tomlin anyway.
the fact that Fields has got a hamstring injury in itself, that helps the situation massively. But yeah, Russell's playing incredibly well. His last 2 games have been really, really good. I'm just getting his stats up the screen so you can carry the load. He's had QBR ratings both times, or pass ratings of over 100, 109 against the Jets and 114 against the Giants. He's passed both times over well over 250 yards. And he's not thrown an interception yet in the 2 games, which is better than he did in the last 2 seasons that he's actually played football. Is this the right fit for him? And, are they going to take a gamble on him going past this season? I know it's early options, 2 games, but what do you think, Mr. Harris?
Taking off my purple and black tinted glasses for a second, I always knew they'd be dangerous as soon as they brought in Fields and Wilson, because everyone knows I'm a big fan of Justin Fields anyway. And I thought with that offense that they already have there, they didn't draft any. Who did they draft? I can't even remember. That's how much I disdain this team. Anyone give me a quick? Good, Steve. We don't
Good
get
question. Well presented.
Okay, anyway. The point I'm making is that they didn't draft a stud. They didn't draft a superstar. They didn't draft a big name. They didn't need to.
No, they're all. They had Troy Fattanu, the offensive guard at 20, Zach Frazier, centre in the second round. Only really picked up 1 offensive weapon in Rowan Wilson in the 3rd round from Michigan, and he's been not really done a lot.
Exactly. Like I said, they didn't need to. They brought in 2 really decent free agent quarterbacks. Name me a better backup in the league, in all honesty.
Josh Dobbs.
See, don't be daft. See, you can't. That's a great one.
Black
Fair enough. I stand corrected. I'll give you that one.
Where he knows the quarterbacks are going to be benched by week 8, and then he can play for the rest of the season and look like a hero.
We all know Gardner Minshew's just a backup anyway.
Don't be so daft.
Aiden O'Connell would be started if he wasn't injured.
It's hurting my soul to be nice about the Steelers, so let me make it quick, right? Najee's playing well. Pickens is playing well. Well, I wish I had someone to say it too. I'm taking applications, by the way. No, yeah,
We
Pickett's
know.
playing. Najee's playing well. Fryamu's playing well. They've got a lot of big players coming up with a lot of big plays. I hate to say it, but they may just win the North. I hate to say that, but the way it looks, they're playing so well. We've got them on the 17th, and I may be going to see that game with the UK Ravens fan club. I don't know about it. I don't know. They're a good team.
I still kind of fancy Cincy to win the North, to be honest, even though they got absolutely blown away. Joe Burrows is balling.
Dude, I thought you said City. I was thinking, wait, what sport are you watching? Cincy, right? Okay.
I just thought you. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he said. I didn't realise he said Cincy. I didn't think he said City, but I didn't think he realised he said Cincy. And then he said Burrows, and okay. I don't think I can't see.
I mean, I know you guys are old, but I didn't know your ears were going.
Woohoo!
Do you guys need me to talk slower now, just so to make sure you guys hear me?
Can you just slow it down? That's all you need to do. That's fine.
Could just stop it if you wanted to. There's a mute button there somewhere.
Yeah, but I can do this, and you can't.
Yeah, I mean, so New York, they're 2-6. Surely Brian Dable's got to be feeling the heat on his seat, hasn't he?
I would say that, but if the owner hadn't have come out with what he said last week.
Yeah, but owners say that, man. You know, they say it in like soccer all the time. Yeah, the manager's fine. We're not going to sack anything. We're not going to make any changes. 6 weeks later, he's sacked. In fact, it's probably less than that, wasn't it, Shane? About 3 weeks, wasn't it?
Something like that. When don't worry, bold will always be best in my eyes.
So, do you think if they finish bottom and like with a top 5 pick again, are they going to go? Yeah, this isn't going to work because they are seriously on the road for the moment as a top 5 pick.
I think if the coach goes, the GM has to go too.
GM has to go first, in my opinion. 100%, because that team, he was the one who gave Daniel Jones that $40 million a year contract. He was the one who let a couple of his best offensive linemen go, his best defensive end go, and his running back go, who went to his rivals, who put nearly 200 yards up against you and a touchdown. Maybe even 2 touchdowns.
He literally could have got a career high if he wanted.
Yeah. But so, GM, and they're in problem there. Right. Let's roll on to plays of the week.
Evidently, Ryman did not. Murray to throw. Kyler Murray lets it rip. End zone. Harrison. What a catch. Man, oh man. Is coming. Gets rid of it. And it's handled along the sideline. Gesicki with a clean catch. Having a big first half.
New look offense and rushing the ball more.
Here he's throwing for it and leaping with the catch. Did he keep his feet in? The official says he did. It's Jalen Reagor who has
Comes down to one last play. And it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness! This town is going crazy! It's a madhouse in Landover, Maryland! He did it!
Has that been named the Maryland Miracle yet?
It looks like it could be, but I've not seen it officially named as that.
Because we've got what? The Miami Miracle, Miracle in Minneapolis, Music City Miracle. Surely that's
Miracle
got to be
Mile High.
Maryland. Yeah, Miracle Mile High. Surely that's got to be the Maryland Miracle or something.
Yeah. So, Mr. Perrins, you took Marvin Harrison, and you also took Marvin Harrison as player of the week as well.
Now, what I wanted to establish is that all 4 players, as normal when we pick them, are phenomenal plays. But I just want to mention why I think mine is the best one this week, purely because of the following. Kyler Murray's under a lot of pressure in the pocket, and because he's right-handed, and again, like Hendo, you'd know this as well, playing as DB, because he's right-handed, you're expecting him to kind of like step into the play, and he's going to be throwing it to his right-hand side, defender's right-hand side, if that makes sense. So he'll be throwing it towards you if you're like literally in like, you know, in the first option for playing like wide receiver. But because you have to scramble in the pot, sorry?
You'd be on inside leverage.
Yeah. But because he's had to scramble in the backfield, and then he's had to open his body up, throw across his body, and then that's it. Like, you know, it has to be almost like pitch perfect into like the end zone. And Marvin Harris, if you watch his route, he actually goes up and then he comes back on himself to try and make himself free, and he's catching away from the end zone. So there's so many different components that actually, you know, engulf why that play was just as amazing as it actually was. It took, you know, Kyler Murray in the backfield, who was massively impressed us this year, and then Marvin Harrison Jr., who is incredibly hot and cold, to make the play into the end zone. And, you know, that was just like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's play of the week. Obviously, as we're about to talk about the others as well, but that's why mine's play of the week.
Yeah, you also took him as your player of the week as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby Hope, you took the Jalen Reagor catch for the...
First off, early Jalen Reagor catch should be celebrated because he doesn't make many.
Yeah, I know that. I had him for a season in New England, watching him go, oh, look, there's another Khalil Harry.
But first off, the throw, I think, is incredible from Sherba Herbert, because he's under pressure and he puts it in a place only Reagor can get. Yeah. And then the toe tap swag from Reagor to get both feet in, the body control, and the one-handed catch is kind of incredible. And like I said, it's a Jalen Reagor catch. So that's why I picked it for player of the week.
It is a rare situation. Shano, your player of the week was the Kaziki one-hander.
Yeah, I mean, it's always bittersweet for me to take an AFC North rival, but you couldn't help it. That was an incredible one-handed catch. He made it look effortlessly, and he made it look effortless. And the fact that he basically kept his feet in bounds as he was traveling, not towards like the end of the field, but towards the sideline. He's an incredible player because I think he was at Miami last year. I think I've always rated him. OBH, he's a former Patriot. Yeah, gonna stick. No, that's right. He was at U last year, and in Miami the year before that. What did you think of him when he was in New England?
Underused, underutilized.
That's exactly right. I think
you know, he still can't gritty, mind you, but I mean, whenever he did turn up, whenever he played, he'd always give us 100%. But he was underutilized, and he's a bloody good player. He is a really good player, and you know, Andy Davis, a friend of our show, friend of our show. Get it right. He's a favorite player of the Dolphins. So yeah, I couldn't have not taken the Hail Mary. It was very rare that we see a Hail Mary come to fruition. You know, Aaron Rodgers is good for it. The last one I truly remember was Kyler Murray to
the Hail Murray.
Yeah, the Hail Murray. But it was, yes, okay. Well, Tyron Stevenson was an absolute donkey for, you know, jeering and having a go at the Washington fans. Yeah, that backfired. I mean, not only that, but he managed to move around the pocket, scramble around. This guy playing with injured ribs.
Jaden Daniels scrambled for over 40 yards in that play.
Yeah, and he was able to yeet it nearly 60 yards. You know,
Ollie, you're too old to use the word yeet.
No.
Yeah, I mean, are you describing former Intercontinental Champion mid-card Jey Uso?
No, definitely. He was, you know, it was a brilliant play. all around, and the fact that Noah Brown, they set it up perfectly. You had the one in the front, one in the back. Noah Brown was like, thank you. Yeah, brilliant play. Jaden Daniels is it. Very, very, very much. Right, let's go to play.
Are you sure you don't want the Skibbity in there just to show how down with the kids you are?
The what?
I've never ever heard that phrase used in about the last
Skibbity
10
toilet.
years.
I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit I do watch George Mimila's videos, so I kind of know what that is. But I've never seen it out in the wild.
Oh, my kids use Sigma a lot, and I was thinking, why are you asking about a dance musician? Dance DJ. Yeah. Right. Players of the week. Players of the week. Mr. Tillman from Baby Hope.
Yeah. So I chose Cedric Tillman because he doesn't get enough recognition. This guy, he outperformed Jaden Hyatt at college and is showing why he is such a good wide receiver for the last 2 weeks. But I mean, this week, 7 receptions, 9 targets, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he helped sink the Ravens, which is just an added bonus.
Hey. Do you know what else is added bonus? We can't. All right, we can't. Fair enough. See, Phil soon snapped away then.
I mean, I was going to break my cardinal rule and was going to take Drake May because he was balling out if he hadn't got injured, but never mind. Mr. Harris, you took Cade Otton, my friend.
I did indeed on National Tight End Day. He's not up there with the upper echelon tight ends, and you can use your own imagination to decide who you want to put in that upper echelon. But he is obviously the best. Purple. Don't be daft. I mean, he's obviously the number 1 tight end in Tampa Bay, and he's now also Baker Mayfield's tight end number 1 weapon because of the injuries to Godwin and Mike Evans. He was targeted 10 times, caught 9 balls for 2 touchdowns, and I mean, they still couldn't get past the Falcons. But I thought he played really well. He's one of those players, again, like Cole Kmet for the Bears, who doesn't really get his due. But I think he's really good. Yeah, he's
really, really good. We already know who Mr. Perrins is, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I've taken a gentleman who is a rookie as well. He's a wide receiver rookie. He was the New England Patriots traded this pick away to the LA Chargers, Ladd McConkey. He is turning out to be a great wide receiver. He caught 4 touchdown passes this season, but his game on Sunday against the Saints has to be his breakout game. 6 targets, 6 receptions, 111 yards, averaging 18.5. His long was 60 yards, which was for the touchdown, and he had a couple of another touchdown to add for that as well.
And he was on my bench.
He is having, he was on mine as well. He's having a great season so far. He's doubled his most yardage in the season. He is becoming probably Justin Herbert's go-to guy in LA.
He's a replacement for Keenan Allen.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of a certain number 11 from New England.
Edelman.
Oh, Edelman. They wouldn't be a number 11. One with your nose.
Number 11, not the wannabe Brady. I'm obviously taking the mick. No, I mean, his route running and his toughness very much reminds me of Jules a lot. Mr. Perrins, you may talk again about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Cardinals are currently top of the NFC West, which is not a pretty thing for 49ers fans to talk about. Now, you could argue that Trey McBride had a more impressive stat-padded game where he was targeted 11 times, caught 9, 124 yards, 0 touchdowns, whilst Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously had that phenomenal touchdown catch, but like 6 receptions, 111 yards. His longest was 18.5 yards, which I believe is probably his touchdown. It was a touchdown. And he was targeted for 7. So again, the wide receiver core of the Cardinals is looking pretty dynamic and effective. So yeah, Marvin Harrison, great game, great touchdown, great highlight reel.
Most definitely on that one. Right, let's do it. let's roll on to segment number 2.
This is the news in 60.
Yeah, as always, we roll around the news, the latest news in this week's NFL. And Tuesday was, it was a bit crazy for a couple of hours. It starts off with the Colts decided to bench Anthony Richardson, who decided to be tired after running around a little bit too much in the third quarter on Sunday.
They should put like a bed on the sideline there.
Oh, mate, I've mentioned that in one of my TikToks. We're going to get into that one a little bit more in a minute. Not having a bed on the sideline, but Anthony Richardson. Stephon Diggs is out for the season with pretty innocuous-looking injury at the time. And I think he came back into the game, but he's out for the rest of the season with an ACL tear. He is now heading to free agency on the back of his injury. What's next for him, we'll find out. Patriots then pass rusher Josh Uche to the Chiefs for a 2026 sixth round. The rumor is that he was causing some issues in the locker room. The culture of him not eating right and doing stupid things, staying up late. Apparently, he was one of them. So it's a belt up or buckle out kind of situation in New England now. The Ravens acquire Panthers wide receiver Deontay Johnson for a sixth round and a sixth round for this year's fifth round draft. The Vikings have replaced Christian Darshaw with Jaguars left tackle Cam Bobson. It's very rare that a starting caliber tackle comes available mid-season, and that's going to be a big loss for the Jags up there, but it's like a massive game for the Vikings. There's another bit of news which I forgot to add to my little sheet. Oh, yeah. Alan Lazard has been placed on IR with a chest injury, and the Jets have also literally just signed Riley Patterson from that practice squad, replacing the injured Greg Zuerlein. I mean, Greg Zuerlein has missed more kicks than he's actually taken this season, I think. That is this week's news, gentlemen. We've got to start with Anthony Richardson, haven't we, really? Mr. Perrins, you brought up this very good idea for this one, going, who are we blaming for this?
Yeah, so I mean, Shane, as soon as I put open my theory, because I had a few theories this week, not just all NFL related, kind of like news, but if we look at like the last 4 quarterback draft classes, and let's just go over some of the names. So I've got a list of quarterbacks who are 27 and under, okay? And all respective starters for their teams. So, or at one point, starters for their teams. Anthony Richardson is 22. He was drafted when he was 21. I know his season last year was heavily done and ended by injury. That's where Minshew Mania ran wild in Indianapolis. 22, benched. Bryce Young, 23, benched. Trey Lance, 24, benched. Justin Fields, I know, circumstances and such, but realistically, he was never really going to start and finish the season as the Pittsburgh QB1. 25, benched. Will Levis, 25, benched. Zach Wilson, 25, benched. McCorkle Jones, 26, benched. Kenny Pickett, 26, benched. Now, for those who are going like, oh, but what about the others, Phil? I'm about to go over them. Caleb Williams, 22, starter, inconsistent in his rookie year. Jaden Daniels, 23, starter, looking very, very good. CJ Stroud, 23, has had a very underwhelming year by all accounts. The Texans are 6-2, but I think that's in spite of some of CJ's plays. Brock Purdy, 24. The 49ers are 4-4, and we can admit that he has been massively inconsistent this year. Bo Nix, he's 24, starter. Trevor Lawrence, 24, having a massive inconsistent career in the NFL. 24. Jordan Love, 25. He sat for what seemed to be forever behind Aaron Rodgers. Last year was his breakout year, and he's been relatively okay this season after getting paid. Jalen Hurts, massively inconsistent. He had that when they got all the way to the Super Bowl, fantastic season. He was nowhere to be seen last year. Start of the season being inconsistent, and he's kind of going up, the peaks and boundaries. Justin Herbert, 26. Now, are we seeing the best of Justin Herbert? Like he's kind of like the Chargers are kind of going under the radar, despite them being all right. Tua, we talked about Tua on Monday. He was one hit to the head from being, catatose for the rest of his life. Joe Burrow paid. The Bengals are on a losing season. Kyler Murray, it's taken him forever. He's 27. He's starting to come good. Lamar is 27. He is obviously Lamar. So I know you said previously, Shano, that it's the mentality of the players. What do you say? Like it was the coaching, the mentality of the players. I think a lot of these players that are being put into the NFL, especially the quarterbacks, are being advised poorly, either by like parents, players, influencers, or potential agents, where they're allowing themselves to be drafted probably one season too early. Because I know in the NFL you are literally the elite. Like you are the absolute elite. This is the pinnacle of sports. And a lot of franchises, unless they're drafting you to sit like Pat did, like Jordan Love did, a lot of these teams that are going for you are looking for you to hit the ground running because they are professional outfit. They're not a feeder league. They are there to be the best. They are there to be competitive. And I think it's a mixture of, when you're drafted and molded to fit a scheme in college, then you're kind of like put into potentially a different scheme when you get into the NFL, and you have to learn that scheme. And then like the agents as well going like, oh, you should probably go and make yourself eligible for this year. I kind of put the blame kind of somewhere in the middle, because I think it's a three-way mix, isn't it, between college prerogative? Because do you think Michigan give an absolute toss about the New England Patriots?
Can we say toss?
No, they talk about Michigan, and rightfully so. And so they're going to sculpt their player to play for them. And it's the same for when they get drafted into the NFL. Do you think that the Patriots absolutely would care about someone from Michigan? No, they literally want them to be in their team. Now, I think sometimes the scouting aspect of it, or, that whole thing when the 49ers picked Trey Lance, baby, if you remember, the whole thing was like, well, McCorkle would fit Kyle Shanahan more. But then John Lynch was like, well, if we go for like Trey Lance, we can have like a potential Patrick Mahomes. Now, you can't potentially get any different between any of them. Do you want a Tom Brady-esque player, or do you want a Patrick Mahomes player? There's no middle ground. You're either one or the other. They're not comparable. And because they're not comparable...
Tom Brady than Mahomes.
Hmm?
Brock is so much more like Brady in everything I see about him, just a little bit more social media aware, shall we say, and then he is anywhere near Mahomes.
Yeah.
100%. Sorry, I stopped you mid-rant.
Sorry, yeah. So I don't think it's basically the point of my rant is, and I've been going forwards and backwards of it all day, is that it is a mixture of poor scouting from the scouts, obviously, going like, oh, he's having a great Heisman Year trophy in this particular offense, but then when they get drafted to the NFL, they don't play that offense. Like Trevor Lawrence, when he was playing college, was not playing the same particular playbook that Urban Meyer drafted him into. Let's be honest. No. And Trey Lance was never really going to fit the Kyle Shanahan offense or his interpretation of the West Coast style. And it just doesn't work that particular way. And I think just colleges, training players to play a certain way, poor advice from scouts and friends and family, to make themselves get drafted maybe too soon. And then the NFL team's going like, well, we don't have time to develop you because we drafted you to make the difference now, which we have seen. Like, it has happened. Anthony Richardson was supposed to be the savior for the Colts. That didn't happen. Bryce Young, savior for the Panthers. Oh, that didn't work either. Will Levis, that didn't work either. Malik Willis, that didn't work either. Dan Jones, they paid him all that money. Oh, wait, he hasn't thrown a touchdown in over a year. Oh. So it's poor across the board, and that's the beauty and the harsh reality of the NFL. Nothing's guaranteed.
Mr. Harris. I have some stats, but go first.
Just a quick thought. That's all. You're saying about the fact that it's a very big jump from the college to the pros. Do you think they could potentially benefit from something along the lines of like a feeder league? Say maybe they go from college to the USFL or CFL even, and then go up from there.
Which is what Dwayne was trying to do with like the XFL and the USFXL that we have now. Like, because we have seen a lot of players kind of then find their way playing spring ball and then find themselves into a training camp and then going on to a practice scheme and then actually, competing. Just off the top of my head, the kicker for the Lions. Yeah, we are. As well. Literally, he was bricklaying last year, was playing for the Brahmas, I think it was, and now he's playing for the Lions.
Yeah, baseball and basketball both have an official feeder league. So the NBA has the G League, and the Major League Baseball has the minors, and they're official leagues. So I don't see why the NFL couldn't take the whatever it's called now, USFL, as their official feeder league.
Yeah, I don't. And then I mean, if you then compare it to like our football, essentially when players get signed for an obscene amount of money. And then you go like, oh, they should be the greatest player that ever lived. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Like, actually, I was actually thinking Paul Pogba. And I was thinking,
it was funny that.
And I was thinking like Paul Pogba, like nearly 100 million that Manchester United bought him for, and what worked in Juventus in one particular league. And I'm not slating the Serie A because I actually think Serie A is the most competitive league in Europe. It is. Like if you just look at it's not a farmers league because different people win the league every single year. It's not the same team anymore. It's not Juventus winning it for a decade, unlike what it is over here in England, where it's Man City. Oh wow. So like the levels and then the coaching and the environment is going to be different, and so like to just ignorantly go, oh well, he was great in college, he should be great for us now. It doesn't work. It never works. Can't work.
Okay, so I've got Anthony Richardson's stats in front of me. How many games did he start before he ended up in the NFL?
It wasn't many.
How many in the NFL?
It wasn't a huge amount. I know that.
Was it 8?
He's started 13 games before he played the NFL.
That's crazy.
Trey Lance was like single figures, wasn't it?
I think Trey Lance was about 13 too.
Yeah. In 4 years of playing football, he's started 23 games. 5 years of football, so 23 games.
That's bonkers.
That makes it even worse, mate, when you say 5 years.
This guy has... Yes, he had a shoulder injury last year, so that pretty much obliterated his rookie season. But this guy is being drafted in way too early. There's got to be a limit where you're going, right, you've got to play at least 30 games as a starter before. Tom Brady played nearly 6 years in Michigan. His last 2 seasons were starters. Aaron Rodgers had a couple of years. He was actually... a junior college before he went into USC. Drew Brees had a few extra years in college. All these great quarterbacks had longer times in college, learning the game, understanding the game, getting fitter, shall we say, for the game. But also, they've all had a massive thing in common, and I've said this so often. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Tom Brady sat behind Drew Bledsoe.
Friends of the pod, Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Super Bowl winning quarterback, Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah. And then Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. These great quarterbacks have sat behind someone for at least a year. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers 2 years. We're going to see what Jordan Love can become. I don't think he's going to be that kind of ilk. But he's got the talent and all that to be a good quarterback. He's not going to be like Hall of Fame ilk. Not a hope in hell. But if you're going to draft a quarterback who's played less than a dozen games, or Baker's dozen, shall we say, games, sitting behind someone for a year, him sitting behind Joe Flacco now, who's been there, done it. He's won the big game.
He has.
You know, and he's dragged the bloody Browns to a playoff team last year. You're going to learn so much from this guy. So much from this guy than anything else you're going to learn. And that's why I think it's a great thing. That's why I think Patriots did the right thing by not starting Drake for the first 6 games of the season. Let him learn a little bit. Mr. Perrins.
And just a quickie as well in terms of, like we said about like sitting behind. Who are, and this is just across around the room, gents, who are the best quarterbacks in the NFL not named Patrick Mahomes at this present time? Who are the best in terms of
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen had a very inconsistent start, and he has gotten better. Like he was throwing interceptions like his name was Eli Manning in his first couple of years in Buffalo. So let's keep that in mind. Like he is in his 30s now, and he is playing like we expected him to play 6-7 years ago when he first came into the league. Give me another one, gents.
You can't look past 2-time MVP LJ. You can't look past him.
Absolutely, but then Lamar Jackson sat behind Flacco for a wee bit, and Lamar went peaks and valleys. Let's not forget, last year's Lamar was not a good player, but he's come back and he's literally, I would say this is the best Lamar because there's less pressure on him because he has weapons around him. So, yes, he can run fast, but he doesn't always have to be the one that runs. So he's learning the game. Another one I just want to give an example of, Geno Smith. All right, regardless of him playing for the Seahawks, Geno Smith is a very capable, higher-end quarterback in the NFL. Another one, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is in his 30s now. Jared Goff played in the Super Bowl. All right, Jared Goff was considered a bum and a waste when McVay sent his ass to Detroit, and now you could argue that him and the Detroit Lions are the only team capable of stopping this year's Chiefs.
Yeah,
and he is playing like a top tier quarterback. So I also think that weighting system, essentially what I'm saying, I mean, he was drafted in 2016. He's been in the league 8 years now. I'm talking about Jared Goff, I should say. And he is playing like, an elite level quarterback. And I think that is also the thing of not necessarily that win now mentality. It's like, well, that's not just wait for him to develop. He's going to make mistakes. Let's see what he's like when he's 28, 29, 30. Because if you can pay someone that much money, invest that much capital and draft space in this player, you have to give him time, not just to flourish, but also get him used to having people around him.
Another one we can look at. He wasn't meant to be a starter this year.
Got him into. Oh, sorry.
In Minnesota.
Donald. Yeah.
Great season. Got Donald's stats in front of me, right? 127 completion from 189, 67.2 completion percentage. Where's it gone? 1,600 passing yards, and he's thrown 14 touchdowns for 5 interceptions.
Just out of interest, do you know what percentage of that is to Jefferson?
No, unfortunately, I haven't got that to hand. Don't forget, Jefferson missed a game or two.
Yeah.
Go on, baby. You've had your hand patiently up for a while, my friend.
So, I just wanted to go back to the who do you blame? I blame the NFL coaches, but I was wondering, do you think that sometimes the coaches are a bit too quick to bench the quarterbacks? Because if you think about it, I'm going to use some examples. Bryce Young, I think, was put into an impossible situation in Carolina with a poor roster and Frank Reich as his coach. You go back, Zach Wilson drafted into a very, very poor Jets team. Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, going back to what was that guy's name?
You can go back to Geno Smith. He was at the Jets.
It was Darnold, I was thinking, actually. Adam Gase is your coach.
Yeah.
So I do think that some rookies get into very tough situations and coaches might be a bit too quick to pull the trigger.
A bit too gun ho. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but don't forget the coach's job's on the line. If they can't, if these quarterbacks aren't doing the job because they're not throwing it, don't forget. Anthony Richardson has the lowest completion percentage in the league of all starters from week 1.
Wow.
It's like 44%. It's the lowest completion percentage. Yes, he's got these social media plays where he literally bombs it. So I went to Michael Pittman and he's incredibly athletic. But if you're not accurate and you're not getting the ball to your players who are going to be doing making the money for you, then you bench them. Joe Flacco outplayed him when he's come in. All three of you got your hands up. Mr. Harris, you had yours up first.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let's not forget, football is a sport, and that sport is a business, right? They need as much money in as they can. And there's another thing not to also forget. Football fans, well, sports fans in general, have very short memories. It's a case of, what have you done for me lately? So if someone's not performing, the fan loses patience, the owners lose patience, the coach loses patience, and they got to make a change for the short-term fix. And that's what they do in Indianapolis.
Exactly. Baby Hope.
So you talked about Anthony Richardson being a athlete, and on the college football game, when you're trying to build a dynasty, you can recruit people, and it doesn't give them a position; it just says athlete, and then you can choose their position. So I was going to say, sometimes you do draft an athlete, but you do need to understand that if they are an athlete and maybe not a quarterback, it could take them time to develop. So I think him sitting behind Flacco for a bit might be beneficial. And Flacco doesn't seem like the Ryan Tannehill, it's not my job to mentor him kind of guy.
No, definitely not. Mr. Perrins, quickly before we head over to predictions.
Yes. Just a quick stat about NFL tenures. 26 of the 32 NFL head coaches were hired in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
26. Okay. If you want to go back to 2017 and the 2017 hires, that's when you're looking at like Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Sean McDermott. But in the last 5 years, that's when the last 20.
Was Matt LaFleur 2017 too?
Yeah, no, Matt LaFleur was 2019, so I included him and Zach Taylor.
Okay.
I know there's a guy in Chicago that's feeling some pressure from the press and the news in Chicago.
Well, even
yeah,
he needs to go.
Apparently, he's lost the locker room.
I don't think he ever had. Yeah. I quite enjoyed on Hard Knocks when he walked up to a player they just traded for. Went, "Hi, I'm Coach Flus. I've only got 3 rules: no disrespect, be on time, and give 100%, and then we'll be fine." And then just walked off.
OBH should run a tough ship like that as well. Run a tight ship like that as well.
I mean, 2 of you would be screwed. I'm not saying which is which. Right. Let's go on. Let's start on to week 9. Let's start off with these prediction games chosen by myself. Okay, the games I have chosen. I need to bring up that screen there so I can see what I'm going on about. We'll go with the current standings. Baby Hope is stretched his lead out to 5 with it's currently on 23. I am second with 18. Mr. Harris has caught up Mr. Perrins, who are both on 17.
Yeah, boy. I'm coming for you.
Mr. Perrins, Mr. Perrins, stop caring in a minute.
Stop caring. Yeah, I've won it once. How many of you lot have won it once around this table?
He's somehow second in fantasy, so I think he's caring about that a bit more this year.
I actually am full on caring about it at the moment. Yeah.
Well, we'll put our latest standings out after this weekend, midweek. We'll put the standings out for the fantasy. I'm quite embarrassed.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah, 3 of the hosts are the bottom 3. The other one's second.
I'm propping up the league at the moment, despite.
And there's a 12-year-old who's in 4th.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Hope family currently bookending the league.
Yeah, right. This week's games, I've chosen the Lions at the Packers purely because they are both at 6-2, and I reckon this is going to be a hell of a game. The Rams at the Seahawks. Again, that's going to be a bloody good game. The Rams have now turning things around with their two superstars back. And I think it's going to be a great game. Broncos against the Ravens, both at 5 and 2. 5 and 2?
Yeah.
5 and 2? Yeah.
So
5 and 3, I think, the Ravens.
5 and 3.
Yeah. I've written it down, but I'm written it down. I don't know where I put my piece of paper. I wrote it down. I just got it on my screen in front of me. And the other one is the Colts at the Vikings. The Vikings have lost the last 2 on the bounce. And the Colts and the Flacco just look so much better. So, Baby Hope, would you like to go first with the Lions at the Packers, please?
Well, I've been very vocal this season that I'm not on board the Jordan Love Express to Hypeville.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take the Lions because I think they're just an all-round better team, and I don't think the Packers are all that. And I mean, Lambeau's a great stadium, but I don't think it's one of the most intimidating in the NFL.
Not anymore. The Lions are the best team in football at the moment. The most entertaining team in the football. Jared Goff threw for 89 yards. They still put 50 points up on it. Yes, okay, a poor Tennessee Titans, but they still put 50 points up on them. So yeah, I'm doubling down on the Lions. Mr. Perrins.
Oh, I'm doubling down the Lions. This is a Lions household when the 49ers don't play, so 100%.
What? No, it's not.
Jem is a Lions fan, so the Lions game typically gets like the first showing. So
Yeah. And
you should have seen me earlier in the tattoo parlor. I was gonna get like a little Raider like tattoo just on my shoulder.
You didn't. The big Raider mark that you are.
I thought you were going to get CM Punk on your thing.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed any wrestling paraphernalia tattoos. I've already been told.
Across your waist line, your belt line. That's what I was going to say.
He'd love that. Anyway, rolling on.
He's so he's frozen.
No,
yeah. Mr. Harris.
Anyway, yeah, boys, as OBH said, the Lions are probably the best team in football at the moment. They can't stop scoring, and it's not just scoring. They're scoring in completely different ways by trying to get the big guys touchdowns as well. You know, they're basically taking the mick out of other teams. So, yeah, I'm not a huge Packers fan. They're on my list of 3 or 4 teams, which I don't like. So, yeah, Lions all the way.
Rams at Seahawks. Baby Hope.
Asteroid to hit the field and we forget the 2 teams ever existed. Honestly, with Puka and Cutback, I think the Rams are the better team, so I'm going to take them in this matchup.
You're taking the Rams.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doubling down on that as well. I'm going to take the Rams as well. They looked so much better against. Yeah, okay, the Vikings secondary isn't as good as the Seahawks secondary, but they looked so much better with those 2 back. You know, it's who do you double team? Now, do you double team Cooper? Oh, crap, Puka's free. Let's double team Puka. Oh, crap, Cooper's free. You are screwed no matter which way you double team the wide receiver. So, yeah, damn it, Rams to win. Mr. Perrins, Rams at Seahawks.
I'm going to Rams.
This is a boring week so far. Mr. Harris.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I've got to go with you 3 as well. With Cooper Cup and Puka back, and Kyron Williams, who we haven't even mentioned, who scores pretty much every game. It's a 4-peat for the Rams, I think.
Most definitely. Shano, you're hosting the Broncos.
I know.
Go first, my friend.
Thank you very much. We need to God's sake bounce back from last week's absolute abhorrent display of defensive football against the Browns. I think the Broncos are, even though the stats don't agree, worse than the Browns, like position for position. Who they got? They got a rookie quarterback who's playing all right, but he hasn't really played anybody yet. You've got Cortland Sutton, who I'm a fan of, but other than that, who else have they got? Jerry Jeudy's gone to Cleveland. Who do they have now?
Javonte Williams.
Oh,
again,
wow.
What?
Mate.
What?
Mate. No, carry on. Go on, no, carry on, mate. Carry on.
Well, obviously Ravens win. I'm going for. We got to bounce back, and I think if we can play like we did against the Browns, we probably still beat them.
Right, over to you, Mr. Hook.
He's forgetting the best cornerback in football plays for the Broncos, but
Yeah,
13. Okay, yeah.
go on then.
I think Baltimore are going to win.
Goodbye.
You're going Ravens. Right. Yes, it is an M&T Bank. But there's something about this Denver Broncos team that do it. I mean, to name your issues. Okay, Devontae Williams, good running back. Courtland Sutton, great wide receiver, playing probably the best season of his career so far. Little Jordan Humphrey, understated. Marvin Mims, again, understated.
Still nothing.
Greg Dulcich, not a bad tight end. Troy Franklin, Troy Franklin, not a bad wide receiver. Their defense is good. They have got a good defense. And their kicker's better than your kicker.
Don't be dull. And also, someone I haven't mentioned, but I will mention it really quickly. Deontay Johnson signed to the Ravens. I don't know every player in the league, I'm not going to lie. So why would I even, entertain the idea of knowing a lot about Carolina's roster? But I was thinking, Deontay Johnson, I know that name. Why do I know that name?
He played for the Steelers a couple of seasons back.
Are you going to spoil my segments or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, former Steeler, but I hope he plays well for us. Cheers, Devontae. Welcome to the floor.
I just like to say, as we're talking about that, I think that's actually a great pickup. I really rate Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, it's a really good pickup. I'm going for the Broncos to shock you.
Woohoo! All right.
Finally, somebody's disagreed.
Yeah, I'm going for Broncos shock. Mr. Perrins.
Quote the Ravens, nevermore.
Bye-bye.
You had to use some kind of reference, Stephen King reference on Halloween.
Oh no! Oh no!
That was Poe, wasn't it?
No, it's not. No, it's not Stephen King, is it?
That was Edgar Allan Poe, wasn't it?
He's closet
It's Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
I have an Edgar Allan Poe tattoo. That's real, baby.
What did I think Stephen King? Was I thinking of the birds? I wasn't.
No, that was still Alfred Hitchcock. You were thinking of The Shining.
Go to bed. You're drunk.
No, I know The Shining, Stephen King. What do I think of it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Last game of it's Colts at Vikings. Baby hope.
The Vikings will eventually bounce back from this. I think is it at home? Yeah, at the US Bank. I think they'll be too strong for the Joe Flacco-led Colts, so I'm taking Vikings.
Joe Flacco has a habit of throwing over 300 plus yards whenever he plays. Back this week as well, back to full health. He's had a full week and it's full participant. So there's that run game going. The Vikings defense isn't that good. The Bears almost and should have, put a million points up on them, but they didn't. I'm going for the Colts. Mr. Perrins.
I'm going Vikings.
Mr. Harris.
Okay, I'm going to tag up with my old buddy OBH, and I got to go with the Joe Flacco. Sorry, try again. The Super Bowl winning Joe Flacco led Indianapolis Colts for the win. Sorry, my apologies. I got to say it as it is. Like just like the Super Bowl winning quarterback Trent Dilfer,
Well, like the Super Bowl choking quarterback Lamar Jackson.
You didn't get the Super Bowl yet.
Yeah, because he chokes when he can get to the Super Bowl.
Okay. No worries.
Baby. What does Lamar Jackson do when he wins the Super Bowl? He turns his Xbox off.
I mean, forget that. What does Lamar Jackson do when he wins a playoff game?
He wakes up.
Super Bowl losing quarterback Brock Purdy. Sorry, there you go.
At least
take your time, boy. Take your time. We
can win a whole playoff game and has more playoff wins than he does MVPs.
It's early yet.
Right, gentlemen, on to the rest of the games for this evening before we go around Shane specials. He's mentioned it a couple of times this week. It is his favourite week in the year. Our closet Raiders fan. You're facing the Bengals in Cincy. How are you feeling?
I mean, we are well into autumn, and the autumn wind is a Raider. I think the Raiders are going to go into Cincy and lose. Like,
You can't have them in.
the Raiders are going into Cincy and they're taking that fat L, and they're taking that fat L back to Las Vegas. They're going to take it with the other 6 L's that they've got, and it's going to be Las Vegas.
Like a Welsh
Mate,
team.
I really wasn't expecting that at all.
Should we talk about the toilet bowl in Tennessee?
Hey,
And bowl.
we're coming away with the 3rd win of the season. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Patriots fan. I generally do believe we're going to beat the Titans.
Is May back?
He is 4/5 of the way there. Apparently, he's cleared the 4th one, so they're just waiting for him to clear the 5th, whatever is in concussion protocol. But yeah, he's practicing. They reckon
what you're telling me is
it's gonna be May.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm generally think he's going to be there. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss off bit because of my fireworks display. But
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
If it's a fireworks show on a Sunday.
Fireworks display people.
You do on a Saturday so all the adults can drink.
It'll just hurt on Monday morning.
I know I have Monday off, but not everyone.
I was going to say the adults can drink. So what about you?
Yeah, right. Watching the Tennessee Titans against Detroit last week, apart from the first quarter, they were dreadful. Will Levis is back playing, so that's guaranteed a touchdown because he literally throws you a touchdown every week. And the Patriots generally looked a lot better last week. They had those almost like clearing the air kind conversations after London. It's kind of woken the team up a little bit, I think, now. And it's like, right, we've got to really buck our ideas up here. Otherwise, we're going to be, number 1 pick again. We're out our ears if we're not careful. So, yeah, the team look a lot better on Sunday than they did on Sunday than they did in England. So, yeah, I'm generally looking forward to that one. Tonight's game, it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, there's only one winner tonight.
100%. I mean, he's lost Lazard, so he's lost one of his targets. I mean, if they got a field goal, they're more likely going to get it because Zerline's on IR now, which is interesting. IR. No, mate, you blatantly been cut because you were shockingly bad. But yeah, really good that one. Any other games out there, gentlemen, that go, ooh, that tweaks my interest a little bit?
I'll go. I actually think Cowboys Falcons going to be interesting because the Cowboys, fingers crossed, could actually find their career over by the time this game is over, and the Falcons are starting to find a little bit of rhythm. I mean, I know Kirk Cousins hasn't hit the ground running. I mean, he's thrown 14 touchdowns for 7 interceptions. That's a 2-for-1 deal right there. But I have been mildly impressed with them, and I think Cowboys aren't particularly going to be doing anything after this weekend. And just the other one that I'm fascinated by is Dolphins Bills, because I think that could go one way or the other. Like, not just like to sound like a generic football pro, but like
someone's going to win.
Either like the Dolphins are going to win just because it's just that particular type of matchup, or the Bills are going to massacre them like Hiroshima.
That is very much a Michael Owen punditry type phrase there, Mr. Perrins.
One team's going to win or the other.
I'm literally going to cut that.
Whoever's going to score the most points will be the winner. Yeah, I knew what I did as soon as the words came out of my mouth.
To win, you have to score more points than the other team.
That's right.
Yeah,
most definitely. Shano.
Yeah, my game to look out for is coming from State Farm Stadium in Glendale as the 4-4
do that one.
4-3 Chicago Bears. We all know what the Bears did to Jacksonville a few weeks ago in London. They looked incredible, and they've been very much hot and cold this season. But if the rumors are true, and Eberflus has lost the locker room, that'll remain to be seen. But the thing is, the Cards are coming in hot. They're top of their division, which when you look at the division, there seems to be only one winner. Which at the minute there's only the Cards at the top. But yeah, it should be a really interesting game, I think.
I'm interested in what Perrins is doing.
I'm interested.
Waxing his goods.
I'm interested to see. I'm interested to look at the Chargers Browns game, see whether famous Jameis can back up his performance last week with another good one against a good Chargers defense.
No, we can't. I know they are.
Tonight's game is Texans at Jets in New York.
Yeah. But don't forget, it kicks off at 20 past midnight, not 20 past 1, because the clocks don't change till Saturday night in the US. So an hour early, if anyone wants to watch it, I wouldn't recommend it because it'll be a terrible game.
Might try and set it for the first quarter.
Game for Texans.
I was also thinking the Bills-Dolphins could be an interesting game. Second week for Tua back.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to get better punditry than Mr. Perrins did about that game.
Well, that's going to say what again? Sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
I mean, I did almost do a Mr. Perrins.
Yeah. You stated the Tua was back, which we all knew anyway.
No, so this is second game back. There's a difference. No, I mean, Dolphins did look better under Tua, which was obvious. You know, Tua is a better quarterback than Skylar Thompson and
Tyler Huntley / Tim.
He is a markup. He's a starting quarterback somehow in this league.
Ollie giving some praise to Tua Tagovailoa. Ollie giving some praise.
Yeah, I said somehow a starter in the league. It's one of those situations, isn't it? If they can start getting that defense together, I mean, the defense takes some hits anyway. If they can get that defense sorted, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Josh Allen's going to have to take a lot on his shoulders.
I mean, the Dolphins have a chance because Andy's not watching them.
What is it, 0-6 as we found?
0-6.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still going to make a jingle for this, but it's time for Shano Specials.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. Welcome again to another edition of Shano's Specials. Please gamble responsibly, of course, as we always say. These bets are with Paddy Power and they are live right now. So have a little look at these if you fancy a flutter. What I'm going to do, I picked out three which caught my eye this week. One is a common one, which I do most weeks. And I'll be asking the gentlemen what they think of each individual bet. So I'm going to start tonight with the Thursday night game between the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. And I'll start with my beautiful baby Hope, because I know he's having a flutter on the game tonight. Houston Texans to win. Joe Mixon to score a touchdown at any time is 5-2. What do you think, baby?
I think it's a good bet. So I told you before the show that Mixon score a touchdown is part of my bet that I've got on for tonight's game. And he is the favourite. I think he's 8-11 score a touchdown on his own anytime. And I think it would take a very special performance from Aaron Rodgers for the Jets to get anywhere close to the Texans. So, yeah, I think that's a good bet at 5-2. If anyone is going to score a touchdown, it will be Mixon.
And I said, yeah, that's Paddy Power. That's Paddy Power's power price at the minute. So 5-2. Who fancy a flutter, get on that one. And the next one I've got is a combined bet between two of the most elite quarterbacks in this league, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. The bet itself is for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson to combine for 6+ passing and rushing touchdowns. Everyone knows they're both good with their legs. One is slightly better with their arm than the other, but they're both elite quarterbacks.
Slightly.
Whoa.
No, it's my segment. Thank you. Yes, that would be 4-1. OBH, what do you think of that? What's your opinion on that? That's 4-1 at the minute.
Who did you ask that to? Sorry, mate.
Your dad. Is he chuckling? Even Kurt's laughing.
one slightly better arm than the other one. I'm still
It's
telling
like-
you that.
Better.
Mate, Josh Allen. Oh, sorry. Lamar Jackson wish his arm was somewhere near Josh Allen's strength.
Okay.
4-1 to both to go over 6 rushing or throwing touchdowns.
Combined. So
Both
for 6+ between the
you
two
know,
of them.
we know Lamar can run. We know Josh Allen can run. We know Josh has got throwing. Yeah, I think that's a sound bet at 4-1. Yeah, go and put a 5 on it straight away.
So I think that's decent. Yeah, I really do. Based upon who they're playing against, the Ravens are playing the Broncos, and the Bills are playing the Dolphins. Dolphins secondary's banged up. The only question mark on it is how good is Pat Surtain going to be to stop the passing touchdowns from Lamar Jackson, and how good is that Denver run?
He's only going to mark Zayfar, so it's fine.
Deontay Johnson is the new X factor in Baltimore, you know, and if
Yeah,
Sean
he's not going
not dropping in ball, they'll strangle him. But yeah,
Maybe Deontay Johnson will be like Amari Cooper this week.
let's hope so. Yeah, new manager.
What we do?
So somebody tell me all the players.
New manager. So yeah, and my last one for this week, I'm going to call on my old buddy from another mother there, Mr. Perrins. I've got a 7-1 for a certain player to score a touchdown at any time during the Las Vegas Raiders and Cincinnati Bengals game. Do you care to guess who that player might be?
Is it for the real
Jacoby
MVP
Myers.
of the? Oh, okay then.
Jacoby Myers.
I will give you a clue. When it comes crashing
Zahir
down
White.
and it hurts inside.
Zahir White.
Oh,
brother! Of course,
I like the real MVP of the NFL. He is literally holding up the league with his talent and with those 24-inch pythons, brother.
Oh, brother.
And I think it is Gardner Minshew, not the first, but Gardner Minshew, like Empire, like The Dark Knight, like Godfather Part 2. Sometimes the sequel just hits differently. Gardner Minshew, the second.
Yeah, as I said, 7-1 to score any time. So it could be a quarterback sneak. He could get a sneaky one on the Bengals defense. It's worth a pound, brother. And we'll be doing the same bet again next week. OBH, thank you very much. The floor is yours once again.
Yeah, I should have said, please bet responsibly. Don't go. If you're white, no fun. Don't do it anymore. Ladies and gentlemen,
The
as
fun
always,
stop.
That's the puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, this will be able to be downloaded tomorrow morning from your podcasting listening devices. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back Monday night, as always. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Have a wonderful evening.